Hi, I'm Neil and thank you very much for joining me today for a mini review of the two-player rules for Sakana Stack. Anyone that watches my channel will see that I reviewed this game a little while ago. Absolutely loved it. I said there was one thing missing from it, which was a two-player variant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down to the table, show you the differences between the two-player and the rest of the game, and then I'll bring you back up for my final thoughts. Okay, cheers!
Welcome back to Sakana Stack, this time with a new and improved rulebook, and, more excitingly, a new two-player variant. I won't show you how to play the full game, rather I will just show you the differences for the two-player rules. If you want to see how to play the main game, please watch my original review. The first thing you need to do is to remove all cards with value 8 and above back to the box. These are not needed for the two-player game. We will then shuffle and deal 12 cards to each player and then form a draw pile with the remainder. Turn over the top card for the catch of the day. Although players still only play one stack at a time, they can have multiple stacks in play. When it becomes a player's turn, they no longer score their stacks. Instead, you score when your opponent passes, and then you add the top card from each of your stacks to your score pile. After scoring the top card of your stack, you no longer need to check to see if it beats or matches any of the stacks your opponent has. The only other way to score is at the end of the round, when you either shed out or the draw pile is exhausted twice, at which point players score all active stacks. When playing a stack and your opponent has no active stacks, you can play any type regardless of the active ones in front of yourself. However, if your opponent has any active stacks, you have to follow at least one of them. It is possible to follow multiple stacks. If you match your opponent's stack, then it stays on the table. However, if you beat one or more of your opponent's stacks, they are placed in the discard pile. At the end of the round, players compare their score piles, and the player with the most points wins the round. We have been playing a best of 5 rounds to get the most out of this two-player rules. These are the changes you need to play Sakana Stack for 2 players. Let me take you back up top to give you my final thoughts.
Okay, I hope that look at the two-player variant gave you a really good feel for how it plays. And like I said in my video, if you want to see how the main game plays, please go back to the original video. Link is in the description below. So, the two-player variant of Sakana Stack. Have they done it? They certainly have. This is fantastic. I have taught this now to quite a few people who have played the original game. And I'd say about 50% of them have come back and said, wow, I actually prefer this to the rest of the game. They really love the head-to-head nature of the game, the building up multiple stacks, the attack, if you like, the following of different stacks. Maybe you can follow 2 or 3 of them and maybe get rid of 2 or 3 of them. The knowing when to pass, and you can pass and just take that card which you know is going to help you out later on. All of those things seem to be exemplified in the two-player game compared to the remainder of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love the 3, 4, 5 player game. But at 2 players, it feels really tactical and it feels like you have a lot of important decisions to make on your turn. Do you play a stack that's going to be really hard to beat, but it means that the other player is going to be able to draw loads of cards? Do you play a fairly weak stack just to get it out of your hand, knowing that it's not there at the end? When you're attacking a stack, do you go for the really large ones to try and get rid of it? Do you try and match one? There's so many options for you to go for. And hats off to Huff No More Games, because what they did is they took a really, really good 3, 4, 5 player game and they amended the rules just slightly, but enough to make it a really standout 2-player game as well. Now, this isn't the first set of rules I was sent for the 2-player game, and that didn't flow as well. And my feedback to Mike, and I'm not sure if other people did as well, that it didn't quite hit the mark. He went away and he came back with this version, which not only hits the mark, it just knocks it out of the park. Mixing up my metaphors there, but you get what I mean. But yeah, this is fantastic. So all of my stuff I said in the original review stands, but now with the addition of the 2-player rules, this is now, as far as I'm concerned, an essential you must back this game. I'm increasing my Board Game Geek rating to a 9 out of 10. I think this is the complete package now. Absolutely love it. Kickstarter goes live in a few weeks' time. I'm going to try to be #1 backer because I think this is fantastic. So well done to Huff No More. This is a great all-round game now that anybody can play with their family or friends or husband and wife, what have it, whatever it may be. 2-player, 3-player, 4-player or 5-player, this is a great game. So that was my review for Sakana Stack. Sorry, not much negativity there, because when something's this good, you just have to be honest about it. It's a fantastic game, made even better with the addition of 2-player rules. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this very brief review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please go and back Sakana Stack when it goes live. I will put a link to the Kickstarter in the description as well. And very big thanks to Huff No More for the loaned review copy. But like I said, I will definitely be backing this anyway. So yeah, all thoughts are definitely my own. But you know, I'll be on there backing it so you can get a good feel for that. I don't back very many Kickstarters and they normally have to be pretty special for me to do so. Anyway, see you on the next one. Cheers!